He shot us with bullets and he rained us with shells. And in 5 minutes flat, he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly blew us right back to Australia. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we stopped to bury our slain. And we buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs, and it started all over again. Now those who were living did their best to survive in that mad world of dust, blood and fire. And for 7 long weeks I kept myself alive. All the corpses around me piled higher. Then a big Turkish shell knocked me.
I was joking yesterday. I hope it's government house getting blown up. Parliament House.
And my heart fell back and saw what it had done. Christ, I wished I was dead. Never knew there were worse things than dying.
Dennis is the end of there, bro. See? That way, sorry. Bah! Bah! Bah!
We should be going to be there live.
Collected the cripples, the wounded and maimed. They shipped us back home to Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind and insane. Those proud wounded heroes of Australia. And as our ship pulled into Circular Quay, I looked at the place where my legs used to be, and thank Christ there was nobody waiting for me to grieve and to mourn and to pity.
Here's a quick one from my mods that are in the channel. I don't want to see any political crap written in chat. If you see it, just remove them. I don't know bullshit today, yeah? No racism, no nothing in chat, yeah?
They just stand and they turn their faces away. And now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. I see my own comrades, how proudly they march, reliving their dreams of past glory. I see the old men,
Sorry, mate.
and torn, the forgotten heroes of a forgotten war. And the young people ask me, what are they marching for? And I ask myself, I'm not
Huh?
Hope you're straight, eh, mate?
Absolutely, mate. Good on you. You got your wage deal back? You got your wage deal?
We'll see.
You gonna sign the thing? Sign the declaration, whatever it is? Huh? If he's a thief, why don't you arrest him?
Happy Australia Day. Happy Australia Day. Hey,
What's going on, B? How are you going?
Happy Australia
You been
Day.
good?
Brothers and sisters, you're good, mate. Your
That's cool.
flag's dragging, that's bad.
What do you think? You look like you're just like you're praying.
Got the speakers aren't working.
Afternoon, guys.
Haven't seen a lot of these so-called independent.
Thank you so much for coming. We're going to wait here for a little while.
Are they so-called independent?
The police have informed us of this being a precinct area, so we're going to wait until those who are coming are all in this area, so give us another 10 or 15 minutes. Then we're going to go for a little bit of a walk down towards Gosh's Paddock. We'll have a bit of a parade, we'll have some speeches down there. Then we'll have a walk back. So we're going to wait here for as long as we don't get moved on. So thank you all so much for coming, and I'll make an announcement shortly about the time frame. Cheers.
It's actually a pretty good gathering.
Yeah.
Those two there, the two old bulky looking guys there, and then the bald head.
Where?
On mainstream media.
Yeah, Channel 9.
The amount of press coverage has been getting in this
Yeah.
month.
I've got my glasses on, guys, so I can quickly go through chat quickly. Happy Australia Day, everybody, by the way. How you going, Tracy? John Belcher. Jenny. Brandon Gardner. Deb's Crazy Daily. How you going, Deb? Matthew. Bill's Channel 87, 1987. Lynn T. Kinga 1110. Nice for you to drop by. Vic Lyons Den in the house. Wandle, here you go, mate. Ben. Who else? Anita. How you going, guys? Thanks for dropping by. I'm just in a bit of shade at the moment, sitting on the tree. So, what we've been told, we've already had a conversation with the police. They rocked up when we were waiting on the other side of the Yarra. This whole area, all this area, falls under the Olympic Park precinct. And yeah, you're not allowed to come here and protest and shit like that. But what we're doing is we're rocking up here because this was the meeting point. And we're going to stay here for 5-10 minutes apparently. And then we're going to go for a walk just down the road here. There's a park and we're going to have some speeches. Watch out, guys!
Apologies, guys, we've just had a few issues with the PA system. So we're going to play some music for another 10 or so minutes, and I'll have a chat about what the plan is.
Don't come and talk to me, man. Why? Because I'll see the shit you wrote about me.
When?
Oh, don't worry, I've seen the shit you wrote about me.
Where?
Where? On your fucking Twitter, wherever it is. Yo, Black, that's Intifa there.
Sorry?
Intifa just there in the red and the white, the Sheila, the tranny.
No, she's press. It says press.
It's Intifa, bro. She's coming in right now. She's Intifa. She films for all them and she posts on all their websites.
Well, there's nothing we can do. Unless she
No.
causes trouble, there's nothing we can do. So.
Exactly, yeah. Just keep your heads up. She'll start taking photos, that's what she does.
That defend legacy thing, that protest of legacy, she was there too. You got
Going.
Not bad yourself?
Yeah, good mate. What's going on?
Oh, we just celebrate the trader. You know what I mean? The government doesn't want it.
They don't, do
You know what I mean? But they'll allow like 150,000 Invasion Day ravellers in the city,
I
right?
just saw that on, I was just reading the news. And
How's that work in this country?
It's bizarre, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, Australia Day means different things to everybody, man, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Some people might be offended by it. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean to say that everybody is punished because of that, yeah?
Maybe offended by it.
I don't know, but some people might, you know what I mean? That's their mentality, you know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like go and cut down a statue of fucking
Oh, how's that?
Batman or whatever. Why?
Batman.
Why?
Yeah, well.
What did it cause?
There's
This
crazy.
vandalism that didn't achieve
There's
anything.
crazies everywhere, isn't there?
It didn't achieve anything.
No. It's going to make people up more upset. So they seem to get away
Comes
with
out
it.
of our pocket to clean it and repair it.
Yeah, that's right.
And this country's already fucking in there. You know? It's just extra shit. They need it.
And it's a good place to do it right out in front of the Australian Open.
Well, that's why she said that Alan kept the shits about it. She called us un-Australian.
Oh, she's talked about this.
Oh yeah, she called us un-Australian. Bunch of something or other. Yeah. We're just waiting for the counter protest.
They haven't talked about this.
Oh yeah.
What are they going to do? Say stop, remove
Oh,
the flag?
throw eggs and shit like they usually do.
Really?
Right. So I get everything thrown at me and I'm going to smack them in the fucking nose.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Keep it all entertaining.
There's enough of us here, man. There's one of the boys here.
Yeah, that's it. Beautiful day for it.
What's you come down for? Come down for this?
I was talking to the 21 gun salute.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got a day free from the missus and the kids. And
Yeah.
I thought, oh, come have a look.
Was there many at the booth?
Really? Disappointing.
Yeah.
There were a few. I think everyone's at home drinking beer.
It's cheaper that way, isn't it? Can't go to a pub and buy a beer. It's fucking $10 million.
That's crazy.
Just doing it.
Okay, I don't drink that much. So
No, man.
Today's the day. I don't know that. Oh, that's good. So they've got your film.
Yeah, I like some. We've been filming events like this for the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So all the, see, it's got eggs on it. See?
Sorry?
Egg.
Yeah, that comes from.
Out of the window of the car.
Oh, so that's going to happen, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I don't want to get the
What's that? Throwing eggs. It's aimed at me, cuz. I told you that. Target.
Yeah, sorry, I went cold.
Because you did say you were.
They're launching eggs out of the windows of the cars when you're driving by. One just really hit me, man. Really?
Throwing eggs.
Yeah. No, it's just a white hatchback that went down the road. No, across the road, man.
For those who are here, if I could just have your attention for a couple of minutes, please. All good. Firstly, I want to thank every one of you for coming. There's only small groups at the moment, but I'm confident that we'll get more over the next half an hour or so.
Excuse me, guys.
Most of the speeches...
I don't know if you were aware of it just then, that vehicle just drove past here and started throwing eggs at us.
Did they?
Yeah. So can you just keep an eye out on it, because if they do, right, and I catch them,
Yeah.
right, I'm going to place them under arrest, yeah? And then I'm going to hand them to you and expect you to do the right thing. This is not the first time that they've come here and started throwing eggs. All right, they've done it near Parliament. Right, I'm targeted because I'm live streaming. Right, I'm not going to stop live streaming.
Did you get the rego?
No, but he's just gone past. I said, like, what are you going to do about it? White hatchback. Make a model, I don't know, just drove past. See the egg coming. Eggs on the ground, man. Just please do something about it, man.
White hatchback, no reg.
White hatchback. Come past here 5-6 minutes ago. If you can get red jail, whatever, I don't know. There's cameras there. You're not going to go and access them for it. I know. It's just throwing an egg.
Did you see how many people?
There's 3 people in the car. Females.
And did you look at it with a description or anything?
No. Just the egg come flying at me. I'm ducking, man.
The thing I want to talk about before we move on is the flags. There's a lot of talk on social media about the media.
Large hatchback or any other?
Small hatchback, something similar to that, but a little smaller than that, but older model.
And no one was hit?
No, no one was hit, man. I'm just letting you know, they're throwing projectiles.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on it. Appreciate it.
Really died for is out of the respect for them and the tens of thousands of their brothers in arms who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we can enjoy this great country of ours. The Eureka flag. Many of you will know the history of the Eureka flag. Another flag where men were prepared to sacrifice everything. 27 miners died to bring change. Eureka was the greatest change in this democratic history of this country, without doubt. All 5 demands in the Ballarat Reform League Charter of the 11th of November 1854 were met within 12 months, but it took the loss of 27 lives. So these 3 flags here are what represents the blood sacrifice of our ancestors. That is why I walk behind these flags. So if anyone else has other flags they want to display, I respectfully ask you, please only carry these 3 flags if you're coming to an event run by myself or the National Workers Alliance. That is just the way I see the history of these flags. So as I said, we'll move off shortly. We're going to wait a few minutes to have let some more people arrive. I've addressed the government. And I know there's some media here, so I just want to say to the media, firstly the mainstream media, there are a lot of lies being spoken about myself and this organisation. All I ask is that you judge me and this organisation and this group of people on what we say and what we do. Go to the website if you question what my worldview is. Ask me personally or listen to the speeches I make. Do not listen to those who are trying to bring me or this movement down, because all they have, and I say to the independent journalists who are here, I've been asking someone with a high profile to debate on any platform, and I offer that to the media, I offer to independent journalists. If someone wants to sit down and debate me on a stream, I am more than happy to do that. But unfortunately, when you are sitting within a position that has no justifiable arguments to back them up, they will not debate. I'm just a tradesman. I'm a tradesman who had a gutful. And I think the reason I am here, and I have a feeling the reason most of you are here, is that you have felt powerless and you have watched this country being undermined, the very fabric of this country, our whole lives. I'm not a young man. I have watched for the last 40 years and I have been disillusioned because you feel powerless. And what has been done to this country is unacceptable. And it's been unacceptable for the last, we go right back to 1975. It comes a point where it becomes intolerable. And for me, that was 5 years ago. The last 5 years has only shown what this government is capable of. They have shown they'll take away your very basic rights and liberties for nothing. And then you go right back to 1975, which I regard as the beginning of the decay of this society. So I think that you are here for the same reason that I am. This is not where I saw myself 10 years ago. This is not an easy path to take. But when things become intolerable, you have to become active. And the only way that we bring change is through our own active measures. One thing I've worked out, because I looked at political movements over the last 10 or 15 years and I was disillusioned, and I realised that there is nobody coming to save us. There is no political party that works in our interest. There is no white knight. We have to bring the change ourselves. And the only way that happens, in my opinion, is by building a movement outside the system. Unfortunately, under the current system, I believe there is no political solution. We need a complete revamp of everything, local, state and federal government. Every institution needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. And I'm not saying that's going to be easy. I'm not going to stand out here and say we can fix it by simply voting in this or doing that. We are looking at generational change, in my opinion. We are just going to start a process. We're going to sow the seed of a tree that we will never sit in the shade of. This is long term, but we have to make a start. Thomas Paine said, if there is trouble, let it be in my time so that my child may live in peace. I want to start a movement to build something that we can bring meaningful change. We can bring back a society, a safe, high-trust society. They talk about social cohesion and the lies they tell us. We see it every day. Social cohesion is being destroyed in this country. We have the Arabs and the Jews fighting. We have the Pashtuns and the Kafirs fighting. We have the different tribes from Sudan, the Nuer and the Dinka. Multiculturalism is destroying this country. So the ideals of the movement that I've started, it's on the website. If anyone questions, I have some pamphlets here. Go to the website. If you agree, all I'm asking is for you to support in some way. We must become active. And at the main speeches, I'll go into a little bit further in detail, and I'll talk about Australia Day. I'll talk about the history of Australia Day, what it means, and why it is important for us to have one day to celebrate this great country. The Victoria Police over there, I've been dealing with you for the last 5 years. You know that we never bring trouble. We are not a protest. We are simply a group of people who love this country, do not accept what is happening in this country, and want change. That is why we are here. And we want institutions like the Australian Open, the Victorian Government, the football coach. We want them to recognise this country. We want them to recognise those who have sacrificed so that you can have a life that is worth living and pass on your children. That is why we are here. We'll play some music and then we'll move on and have some features. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much for coming.
And there's no shade.
How are you, mate?
Hey, yeah, John. Yeah, good man.
Also, I want you to listen to some of the lyrics in these songs. It's about the sacrifice that was made by our forebears. Have a listen, have some respect.
The drum slowly, did they play the pipe slowly, did they sound the death march as they lowered it down? Did the band play the last chorus? Did the pipes
Yeah, he comes out.
and did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some loyal heart, your memory
I've just been told, everybody in chat, get down here.
died back in 1960. To that loyal
Have a look at this guy's fucking hair, bro. Have a look. That's not a fucking wig.
Are you a stranger without even a name? Forever enshrined behind some
Have you ever cut it?
last name.
Don't you?
In an old photograph,
Yeah, with the headphone on.
and stay
Don't you?
faded to
Have you ever cut your hair? When was the last time you cut your hair?
the drums slowly
Hell? 28 years.
sound the death march as they lowered you down. Did
Thanks, bro. You sub?
Did the pipes play the flowers?
Hey?
Guilty visits me.
Cool. I'm locked.
The sun shining down on these green fields of flame.
Hey, fucker's throwing eggs at us already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew he does.
I know, my man.
The trenches have
Of all these fucking people, I'm standing over there, there's gonna fucking egg come flying at you, bro.
gas, no barbed wire, no guns firing now. Here in this graveyard,
When was this?
15 minutes ago. You'll see my live, go off my live later and I'll go over the top.
And a whole generation will turn and down to they play the violin, and they sound the death march as they lower you down. Did the band play the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the and I can't help but wonder, do all those who lie here know why they died? Did you really believe them when they told you the cause? Did you really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the suffering, the sorrow, the glory.
So guys, can I get some thumbs up please? We've got like 100 people in here with 35 thumbs. It doesn't cost you anything. That's the channel a lot.
It all happened again and again and again and again and again. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they play the fife slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered you down? Did the band play the last ghost and chorus? Did the pipes play the flowers of the forest?
Thanks for smashing that thumbs up guys.
For those who had a chance to listen to the lyrics of that song, it's about 19-year-old William McBride, who now lies buried in the green fields of France. One of the 9.7 million young men who died in the First War. Combine that with the Second War, over 20 million young men died, including 103,021 in the last 100 years have died fighting for this country. I want you to ask, what would those men make of the society that is being imposed upon us now? What is the role of government? Have our government failed us? It seems that it's almost daily, if not weekly, that we read about or see on the news of another stabbing, another machete attack. The role of government, we want good infrastructure, we want education, we want healthcare. To me, the most important role of government is community safety. Unfortunately, that goes against the government narrative of diversity being our strength, because we have seen increases in crime to unprecedented levels over the last few years. Last year there was a 13.4% increase in all crime. The year before, 10.7%. We are looking at a 25% increase in crime in a 2-year period. Our government is failing us and they have no inclination to find out why. The main role of government is community safety. The main role of the men in society is to protect the most vulnerable, being the women and children. In Australia, there's been an increase in sexual assault every year for the past 12 years. I'll say that again. Sexual assault has increased every year in this country for the past 12 years. 90% of the victims of sexual assault are females. The majority of the people being affected by this youth crime epidemic we have are the young people. Our women and children are being put at risk through a failure of government. When is enough enough? If we do not protect those most vulnerable, we are a society without honour. We are betraying the men who were prepared to die. And yes, they were lied to. Make no mistake, I'm not a supporter of the between 1914 and 45, 100 million Europeans were taken out. 20% of Europeans were killed in a 21-year period. Absolutely tragic. For what? So that we can sit back and watch another stabbing, another machete attack, per capita group averages recognising patterns. Our government has become so weak, so corrupted that they are allowing our women and children to be put at risk. That is unacceptable, that is intolerable. And we generally follow what happens overseas. You may have seen the recent stabbing in Stoffbargen in Germany, a 2-year-old girl was killed by an illegal migrant who should have been deported 3 times. The German government was too weak to deport him, so he killed a young girl and a 41-year-old man who tried to protect the child. You may have just seen the sentencing of the Southport killer in the UK. Second-generation African killed 3 young girls under the age of 10, stabbed another 6. He was just sentenced, and the judge decided that wasn't a terrorism offence. He said it doesn't fit the criteria of terrorism when he was explicit in his attacking young white girls. And the interesting thing is, if I bring this up, I am the hateful one. I am a racist apparently if I point out the vast overrepresentation of certain ethnic groups in crime stats, which is the biggest issue not only this country, the Western world has ever faced. I can give you statistics for hours, but I ask you, if you want to know the magnitude of the problem that we have, please put into your search engine the imported rate of Europe. Go to government sources. Go to the ONS in England, which is my ancestral homeland on my mother's side. 550% increase in rape in 20 years in England, with no investigation as to why. 186 women a day are raped in England and Wales. 186 per day, according to government sources. Do we accept that? Every European country is experiencing the same things. I talked about the stabbing in Germany. 24 Germans are stabbed every single day. With an overrepresentation, 51% of those stabbings are done by people not born in Germany. It's the same in Finland, Sweden, Norway. Sweden, 63% of the rapists are from gentlemen of foreign origin. This is real, this is happening. And I say to Vicpol who know the problem, because you arrest somebody and they get bailed the same day. We have people getting murdered on our streets. Ashley Gordon, young doctor from Doncaster, stabbed to death by a youth who was on bail. The judiciary has failed us, and you know it, Vicpol. You know it's failed you as well, because you have families, I'm sure you do. You have concerns about your children. I want the government to stop telling me when I can and can't celebrate the greatest country in the world. I want them to bring in a judicial system that treats our children with some sort of respect and stops them having the potential of being stabbed if they travel on the trains at night. That's what I want. I want my government to focus on what is important for the future of this country. 16 aggravated home invasions a day in Victoria, a 1,000% increase since 2016. 16 a day. I'm sure you all know someone who's been affected. Perhaps you have been. A car is stolen every 20 minutes. We have a problem. So I want, you know, the statistics, all it takes is that little bit of courage to read up on it. We now have a thing called the internet. And as much as I hate it, the internet is going to bring these parasites down, because we have the opportunity to find out the truth. We know they are lying to us. They tell us diversity is the strength. Show me the proof. Show me one study throughout history, one time in history where a diverse nation has had a net benefit. Human beings are tribal. You have less social cohesion, less civic engagement, less trust. We are more divided, and most importantly, we experience more crime. This is backed up by scientific studies. Robert Putnam, Roundtree Foundation in UK. Science and evidence is what we base our understanding of a community, a society. What is culture? If the government's going to tell me that diversity drinks, they need to prove it to me. Because at the moment when I'm watching an unexplained, unprecedented rise in crime, they're lying to us. They are lying to us. Your government is lying to you. Same with you, Vicpol. You're being lied to. Your leadership, have they stood up for you? Any of you over there with parents, you're worried about your children, your females, you should be. I'm going to put you over to Blair, who wants to say a few words. Then we'll play a bit more music and move on.
Test. Who's proud to be an Aussie?
Who's proud to be an Aussie? I've got to be careful with my arm here. I don't want to move it to commit an anti-Semitic hate crime if I'm not careful. You know? So there's two great misconceptions about Australian identity. And that's what we're celebrating here, our identity, right? That's what I'm going to talk to you about very quickly. I won't get too political. It's a day of celebration. The first one is that nationality is location. You're born in a certain region and that's the nationality that you are. And it might say that on a piece of paper. But only today do we confuse nationality with geographic location. Nation is ethnic. It's not where you are, it's who you are. And it goes with you wherever you go. You're always the same ethnicity. You're always the same race. You're always the same person from the same family. Wherever you go in this world, it stays the same. So nation is who you are. It's the way you think, it's the way you look, it's the way you behave. It's very intrinsic. I mean, if I, married a woman and had a white baby over in Japan, would the baby be Japanese? On paper it'd be born in Japan, but it's not Japanese, it's my baby, obviously, right? It's common sense. But that's the first great misconception. The second one is this phrase, shared values. Shared values, right? That sounds nice, doesn't it? Shared values. Everyone who shares our values can be Australian. But let's think about what that actually means for a second, right? That means anyone who says the right things, comes into our country and they're one of us. Okay? What other country other than Western countries are actually allowing that? If I went over to China and I said, hey, I share your values, guys, would they say, come in, mate, you're Chinese now? It's ridiculous, right? So that's another way they try to dilute the concept of our nationhood. This concept of shared values. Nationhood is not about values. It's not about location. It's about our ancestry. I'm Australian because I'm descended from the people who built Australia, who mapped it, who conquered it, and who established the preconditions for our existence here now. So who's proud of that? Come on, who's a proud Aussie? Move it in, come on, bring it closer. Say it louder, come on, I want to hear it. Move it in, move it in. Who's the proud Aussie? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Stand up always, never be afraid, and never be ashamed of who you are. That'll do for now. I reckon we'll start moving down the road. What do you think, Matty?
Thank you, mate. Thank you for that. Well, I think Vic Paul can see that we're not here to cause any trouble. We might be able to stay here for a little bit longer. I got a little bit political earlier on. I want to talk about, before we move on, if we move on, why the 26th of January? What does the 26th of January represent? And why is it important for us to recognise this day? It doesn't matter what day that we decide we want to recognise this country. Those who oppose this country, those who walk behind foreign flags, will try to bring us down no matter what day we choose. I'll give you a little bit of history on the 26th because Solzhenitsyn said, to destroy a people you must first sever their roots. That is what our government, our education department are trying to do. These are things that I was never taught at school. My son is never taught at school. My son came home about a month ago and they said the teacher was calling Captain James Cook a criminal. That is unacceptable. Captain James Cook, who just had one of his memorials vandalised again, was probably the greatest navigator in history. He mapped 1/3 of the world. He came from nothing. He was one of 8 children, the son of a farm labourer, didn't even have an education. The greatest navigator in history, in my opinion, Captain James Cook. He must be remembered, he must be respected. Blair talked about identity. Whether those who oppose us like to admit it or not, this country was founded and built by people of European descent. We are a European outpost in the Southern Hemisphere. That is the fact. The first Europeans to sight this great country, this continent, were the Portuguese in 1522. They didn't land. The first European to nap this continent was William Jansoen, a Dutchman, in 1606. He didn't claim it for the East India Company or for the Netherlands. The next European was a man called Abel Tasman, who mapped part of Tasmania, called it Van Diemen's Land, didn't claim it for Australia, didn't claim it for the Netherlands. Abel Tasman came back in 1644. He mapped the north coast of Queensland. The first Englishman to navigate this continent was William Dampier in 1688. Didn't claim it for the Crown. Then we have Captain James Cook. Captain Cook arrived on the 29th of April, 1770. He proclaimed Botany Bay the colony of New Wales, which then became New South Wales. 18 years later, Captain Arthur Phillip arrived at Botany Bay on the 19th of January. From the 20th to the 23rd of January 1788, Captain Arthur Phillip decided that Botany Bay not being suitable for settlement, moved down to Port Jackson, which he renamed Sydney Cove. There is no record in the diaries of those who were with Arthur Phillip or the official records of the First Fleet of anything happening on the 26th of January 1788. It was most likely confused with the 7th of February 1788 when Captain Arthur Phillip proclaimed the colony of New South Wales and he became governor. There were 1,400 people, 750 of those were convicts. It took them 252 days, 20 children were born en route. Those 1,400 people were the catalyst of building this great country, something that we all should be very, very proud of. That was the 7th of February. The first recognition of the 26th of January was the 26th of January 1818, when Governor MacArthur issued a 30-gun salute, and we can only presume that he thought that that was the day of the actual land, because he said, as a celebration of the landing at Sydney Cove, 26th of January, 30-gun salute. He also gave the government employees the day off and £1 extra of fresh meat to commemorate the day. Perhaps Governor MacArthur was recognising the only time we've had a military coup in this country, which is the Rum Rebellion, 26th of January 1808. Governor Bligh was deposed, 2 years of martial law. And there have been numerous Australia Days in between that. There was Foundation Day, at Federation 1901 they proclaimed Empire Day, being the 24th of May, which was Queen Victoria's birthday. The first Australia Day was actually the 30th of July 1915 in an attempt to raise money for the war effort. It was the 50th anniversary, the 100th, the 150th, but probably the most important thing that happened on the 26th of January was in 1949. There was the Citizenship and Nationality Act of 1948 was enacted into law on the 26th of January 1949. What that did was it enabled everybody living in Australia to travel under Australian passports, and we were no longer regarded as British subjects. So there is a lot of different meanings or celebrations on the 26th, but when they talk about Invasion Day, Occupation Day, the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter what day that we decide to celebrate. Those who oppose us, those who hate us, those who want to decolonise us, those who are, and I believe last night they desecrated a memorial for the World War I diggers. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Those people should not be in the country that people have sacrificed to build. They simply don't have the right. If, as I mentioned earlier, if you march behind a foreign flag, to me you are a traitor. If your heart is with somewhere 13,000 kilometres away, and I'm not making light of foreign conflicts, there are 110 armed conflicts going on around the world at the moment. Every one of those is tragic. Every loss of life is tragic. I have empathy for everyone affected by these 110 armed conflicts. I believe that we have some major issues here that deserve our attention ahead of what is happening overseas. So I honestly believe those who are marching behind foreign flags and calling for the end of the colony, because what is the end goal? I think we can keep talking here for a little bit. I was in Avenel over the Christmas break, and just to give you, every time I go to a country town, I look at one of the, there's over 5,000 war memorials just from the First and Second War. I went to the war memorial there, and this war memorial had the names of those who served and those who had made the ultimate sacrifice, those who never returned home. From Avenel, which I looked up the census of 1921, there were 488 people in Avenel in 1921. So you would assume that there would be less than 500 at the outbreak of the war, 1914. If you do a demographic breakdown, there would be 60 to 70 young men of fighting age in Avenel in 1914. On that war memorial, there are the names of 45 young men. Almost 2/3 of the eligible population of Avenel enlisted and embarked overseas to defend this great country. But what was very sobering was, of those 45, 20 never returned. So you're talking approximately 1/3 of the eligible men from Avenel, a small country town northwest of Victoria, of Melbourne, now lie buried in some of the cemeteries at Villas Bretonneux, Hummel, Pas de Calais, Ypres, Zonnebeek, Moquette Farm, in some of the graves that hold the remains of the 103,021 young men who embarked and never returned, apart from the unknown soldier at the War Memorial in Canberra and a Victorian Brigadier General. My mistake, Afghanistan did return. In the first war, 61,678 never returned, apart from the unknown soldier. World War II, 39,657, just in those two wars. And the sad reality is that of those young men from Avenel, the majority of the casualties in warfare are the tip of the spear, those most courageous, the best leadership. Of course you have collateral damage, but a huge proportion of our best and brightest were taken away. For what? So that we can have our government tell us that children can change gender? Is that what they died for? Honestly? The men who drowned in their own blood? For what? So we're getting back to Australia Day. It's not about the date. For me, and it's about the flags I carry, the flags that the men fought under. We should be able to have at least one day in the year where we can celebrate and recognise the accomplishments of those who came before us. That is what I honestly believe. We'll put a bit more music on, then we'll see how we go. We have to move on or we stay here. Cheers, guys.
What's happening?
I'm waiting for another cowboy to get
Okay. I love an eggs before, I heard.
Fire?
I love an eggs before, I heard.
The ones across the road.
Yeah, no, drive past the cars. Drive-bys.
Well, eggs is better than shit, I guess. If you know. I've done that.
stir a little bit of patriotism. I don't know what will. I just want to thank Vic Paul for not moving us on. I think you realise we're not here for any trouble. If we're happy to have a few more speeches you want, we're happy to stay here, guys. Yeah. I'll just say a few more words. I tend to go on a little bit, so if I start to drag it out, please let me know. On the flyer, the topics of discussion were immigration and the cost of living crisis, and demographic replacement and crime statistics. I'll talk about immigration and the cost of living crisis, but before I do that, I just want to reinforce that today is not about walking away feeling disillusioned, not about walking away feeling there is nothing that we can do. It's about realising that we can bring change, we will bring change, that it's just not going to be easy. When you understand the magnitude of the lie that's been perpetrated upon us, and I'll give you an example of the immigration figures. The government has two websites. They have the Budget Review and they have the Bureau of Statistics. In 2022-23, the Australian Budget Review had projected immigration at 195,000, and that's still on their website. Our government is so incompetent that they also have on the Bureau of Statistics website the actual immigration of 737,000 with a net migration of over 600,000. Both on government websites. So when I say that we were never asked, does any of you ever remember being asked about immigration in this country as an election policy? Of course we don't. We were told it was going to be 195,000, up being 737,000. 2019 arrivals a day. So what does Anthony Albanese do? In December last year, he has a press conference and says, yes, immigration is too high. I'm going to reduce it. On the Australian Bureau of Statistics website for February 2024, we're talking 2 months later, the migration for the month of February, 28 days, was 105,440. 3,636 arrivals per day for the month of February. When you say that the politicians lie to us, firstly, we don't have the infrastructure, hospitals, schools, our medical healthcare system is under crisis. We have people dying because of an underfunded, overtaxed healthcare system, and they bring in 3,636 a day for the month of February. That's 150 an hour. 150 new arrivals every hour, 24 hours a day for the month of February, after Albanese said he's going to reduce migration. So put aside whether you think that people can integrate or not, purely from a logistical point of view, from a cost of living point of view, they call it a cost of living crisis. I call it a quality of life crisis. Quality of living crisis, because we simply cannot cope with the amount of immigrants that we are taking, and we were never asked. Then they put out the budget review for 2023-24, 190,000. They actually reduced it. By June, according to the ABS, there'd already been over 350,000. They are lying to you. They are lying to you about things that matter. They are lying to you about things that affect your children's safety, the safety of our women. A government that lies is a failed government, which is why I honestly believe the whole system needs to be restructured from bottom to top. Because when you look at the immigrants that come into this country, 737,000 in one calendar year, the average age is 37. So you could argue that the best years of work are behind them. 20% have long-term health issues, putting stress on the healthcare system. We are now sitting at 30% foreign born, first generation, second generation included, 51.5% foreign born in this country. 73% of those migrants don't have English as their first language, and yet they're telling us we need to be a cohesive society. How can you have a cohesive society when 73% of new arrivals don't speak English at home? we had the council elections a couple of months ago. The bit of paper arrived in my letterbox. It was about 6 pages long, 43 different languages. How can you possibly expect to have a cohesive society when you have 43 different languages? So do those people who don't understand English know the rule of law in this country? The history, the culture, the identity, do they relate to this country whatsoever? And yet they are given a vote? 43 different languages on the voting slip. I cannot. That gets back to the question of who should vote, which is a very complex issue. In my opinion, voting is the most important civic responsibility that we have. And the fact that we have people voting who have no education on this country, our history, the rule of law, the democratic system, supposed democratic system, the system has failed us. Universal suffrage, and not on a gender basis, suffrage should only be given to those who are educated on the system. That is my opinion. And obviously there's nuances to that down the track. That's a separate discussion. But then you talk about the unprecedented immigration and the effect that has on demographics. Because it was said 200 years ago, demographics is destiny. Demographics is our future. And the country that I saw when I was a young boy is vastly different to what we have now, and what we are leaving our children is going to be vastly different to what we have today. And I'll say it again, I'm not going to blackpill anybody, but I'm going to give you some quite confronting statistics that hopefully enables us to become active and to bring change. In one lifetime, when I was born, people of European descent were 28.5% of the global population. 28%. Today, depending on your source, Europeans are between 7 and 10% of the global population. That is a significant change in global demographics. By 2100, on current birth rates, people of European descent will be 3 to 4% of the global population. So we are facing an existential threat, a threat to our very existence. That is why I am here. We must bring change. It's not a matter about whether we get involved or when we get involved. We must get involved and bring change, because the ramifications of people of European descent, the people who built this country, losing the voting rights, are catastrophic for our grandchildren. And if I use the example of Africa, when I was born, the population of Africa was 283 million. Today, it is 1.5 billion. By 2050, it will be 2.5 billion. By the year 2100, on current birth rates, will be 4.2 billion Africans. We are dealing with 1.45 billion Indians, 1.42 billion Chinese. And you may not be aware that our government, we have this pathological altruism, where we have a preference for the out-group. We give foreign aid to 4 of the 5 most populous countries in the world. Your taxes, which is actually not your taxes because they borrow money they don't have, they create it digitally.
Looks like it's
They
part
call
of
it
the
debt
cult.
monetization now. $4.9 billion a year we give in foreign aid. We give China foreign aid. Your taxes are going to China as foreign aid under the DAP program. China's military budget is over $400 billion per year. We give foreign aid to India, also through the DAP, direct aid program. India has a military budget of $75 billion. And our taxes, or a debt they're creating for our grandchildren, is giving foreign aid to India. We give foreign aid to Indonesia. We gave Indonesia $307 million of our taxes last financial year. Indonesia has a foreign budget of $37 billion. Are we buying helicopters for the Indonesian military, our taxes, while people are dying here because ambulance ramping, our underfunded healthcare system? People are dying because critical elective surgery is now 6 years in this country because of lack of funding, and we give $307 million to Indonesia. We are governed by traitors. We are governed by absolute traitors. We give foreign aid to Pakistan. We gave Pakistan $17.5 million last year. Pakistan, Sunni Muslim, 230 odd million of them. We give them foreign aid. They spend $9 billion on their military. We are governed by traitors. What is treason? High treason is the committing of a crime that seriously endangers the security or safety of your nation. Treachery or disloyalty to your country or government. What about when your government are the traitors? Beyond question. Someone justify to me, because I regard peak Australia as 1972 before we had the disaster of Whitlam. Someone please explain to me what gave Gough Whitlam the right unilaterally to sign the Lima Declaration to send all their manufacturing overseas in 1975. Did not ask the people. Thought he had the right. Manufacturing in the 1960s in this country was 60% of GDP. Now it's less than 8%. An 80% drop due to Gough Whitlam unilaterally signing the Lima Declaration. What gave Gough Whitlam the right to sign the FATA, Foreign Acquisition and Takeover Act? Do you wonder why your children can't buy a house? You can't buy a house because of the foreign buyers? Didn't happen before 1975. That's why our parents could buy houses. The FATA allowed for foreign citizens, entities, corporations, nations to purchase Australian land, assets, infrastructure, industry. They sold us out. That is the very definition of treason, and Gough Whitlam is lionised by the left. And you know what really upsets me, which is why it's called the Workers' Alliance, National Workers' Alliance? The unions said nothing. When they sold off their industry, the unions said nothing. When they signed the FATA, allowing for our children's future to be given away, the unions said nothing. When Gough Whitlam signed us up to the Racial Discrimination Act, which in theory, of course, no one wants to discriminate on race, but do we think about the ramifications of cheap labour, which is why the Immigration Restriction Act was introduced in 1901, because of the exact problems we're having now, because people would come in from countries such as China or Pacific Islands and work for less and lower the standard of living. We are watching it today. I'm in the building industry, I see it every day. They come in, they work for less, they undermine the industry. And that's been enabled that's been enabled from Gough Whitlam signing the enacting the Racial Discrimination Act of 1975. And we now know the ramifications of this, because we can see the increase in crime. The health of a society can be governed by the prison population, yes? At the start of the immigration revolution, which started in 75, and by 1984, we had 54,500 migrants come to this country, 54,500. The prison population in 1984, there were 87 Australians in jail for every 100,000. 87 per 100,000. Today, there are 208 Australians per 100,000 in prison. 150% increase, direct correlation with immigration due to Gough Whitlam unilaterally signing Racial Discrimination Act, sending industry overseas, infrastructure, and the biggest issue is the crime. Demographic replacement is the most critical issue that we have to face as a people. I want to talk about the name of the organisation, the National Workers' Alliance. National, derived from the Latin natio, which is ethnic group or tribe. I am a proud ethnic nationalist in the same way that every other ethnic group, racial group is entitled to have a group that are advocating for their rights. I want to start a group that is advocating for our rights, because we are, for some reason, the only group that is not allowed to advocate for ourselves. That is why the word national is in the title. The word workers reflects my... Again, I'm so disillusioned with what the government have done to the working class. They betrayed us, not only the last 5 years. As I said, the last 5 years showed you what they're capable of. During this whole COVID disaster, every tradesman I speak to was crying out for somebody to stand up for them, and nobody did. Nobody stood up for the worker or the family in the last 5 years. And then you go back to 1975 when the unions didn't. Nobody stood up for the working class. So we are proudly advocating for the working class away from the political system, because this organisation is not a political group. It's not a union. I honestly believe you have to work outside the system and put pressure on the system. because I still hope there is a political solution. I honestly do. I don't want another blood sacrifice. I want a political solution, but it has to come from enough pressure outside the system. And the word alliance is simply, an alliance is a group of like-minded people working towards a similar goal. It's a pushback against the diversity lie they've been telling us for 20 to 30 years. I'll finish up because I want to give you what I believe is the solution to this. And as I said, it's not going to be easy. I see the pathway to change. There are five avenues. The first one is education, critically important, and we all have the opportunity now to find out the truth through the internet. Until they change that, at the moment we can all find out the truth. We can find out the immigration figures, crime rates, we can look at the imported rape of Europe, we can go to the ONS in England, we can go to Statista, we can find out that French women are getting raped at a 270% higher rate than before migration. We can find that out. We can find out that 63% of rapists in Sweden are from foreign. We all know that. So education, very important. I want you to please, apparently we spend 5 hours a day on devices. Spend 1 hour a day and read up on things that matter to your future and educate others. The second stage, I believe, is civil disobedience, which has been very difficult because the pressure they put upon you is so hard to... During COVID, you know, they threatened your livelihood. I understand people complying, but you have to now realise things that you can control, you must not comply. And that can only be done at the micro level. I understand that, whether it's digital ID or central bank currency, do not comply. Do not let these parasites ever close this country down again when they don't have the evidence to do so. Civil disobedience, and I know that can't be done at the political level because we don't have any control. Our voices aren't heard. We know that. So we can't change the political process at the moment, but education, civil disobedience. The third pathway is activism. Very, very important. That's what I've been doing for the last 5 years. And I ask all of you, please, if you're interested in anything that's been said today, please go to the website and register and put down, I want to become active. I can vet you. We do flyer drops. It's about education. Obviously, it gets very hard now to do public events. I'm actually quite surprised we didn't get some pushback today. I'm happy about that. If I try and get a venue, they damage
My
the
channel,
venue,
motherfucker, I'll
they
censor
threaten
whoever I
the
fucking
owners,
want to.
they
All you
try to
cockers can go and
shut
suck
down
my fat
everything I
cock.
do. And I honestly don't think I say anything hateful. You know, to me, I just want the natural order of things to return. I want a government that works in my interest. I'm not a hateful person. I have absolutely no hatred for anybody based on race, colour, creed, ethnicity, nothing. I have a visceral hatred of those traitors who have put us in this position. That is where my hatred goes. So you must become active in some form, even if it's educating your friends. The fourth pathway is political influence. That's obviously a long-term goal. You know, we've got maybe a couple hundred people here. It's a start. This is only the start. We have to build a movement of critical mass to bring these parasites down. We must, because the only other avenue to change which always works is violence, which is the blood sacrifice, which none of us want. So what I'm asking you to do is embrace your righteous anger. People call me angry, so please don't be so angry, just relax, enjoy. But there's something inside me I can't look away. Without anger, there is no joy. And righteous anger is a good thing. We must embrace it, we must act on it. And I'm also saying to embrace your justified hatred. Without hate, there is no love. I'm doing this out of a love for my people, my family. A love for those who will follow after us, a respect for those who came before us. That is why I'm here. So embrace your justified hatred against those who are deserving of it, not on a basis of, I think you understand what I'm saying. I'll just finish off by giving you something from an English philosopher called Roger Scruton. And Roger Scruton said that we do not merely study the past, we inherit it. And with inheritance comes not only the rights of ownership, but the duties of trusteeship. Things fought for and died for should not be idly squandered, for they are the possession of others who are not yet born. Our history, going back not only to the First War, thousands of years. Europe, thousands of years. That is our history. We own it.
Wrap the 4x4.
And nobody has the right to take that away.
It's in Melbourne, Australia
The
Day,
future that
out
we
the front of
leave
the Rod Laver Arena.
for our children is theirs. We must leave them a safe, secure future, and nobody has the right to take that away from them. So thank you very much for coming. We'll put a bit of music on. I hope you got something out of today. And as I said, this is just the start. Have a great day, guys.
Look at the smoke, bud.
Yeah, is it like usually like a 2 or 3 minute delay? Is it live feeds? Yeah.
We've got a lot of the cooker watches in here at the moment.
In the
In the chat, I'll just kick it on you.
So you can always tell.
I said, I'm in there head rent free. I'm in there head rent free, man, so, you know what I mean?
What about 3 minutes?
One of the boys said they thought you were Tom Sewell with a mustache standing with you. Yeah, so but no, thanks, man, for doing this job. No. This is like first rally I've endorsed in what, 6 years, so it's great to get this many people together.
Well, have a read of that then. What's that? Hold on, where is it? Should have put that in the shade for you.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, I carried my pack, and I lived a free life on the road. From the Murray's green basin to the dusty outback, I was my Matilda all over. Then in 1915, my country said, son, it's time to stop rambling, 'cause there's work to be done. So they gave me a tin hat and they gave me a gun, and they sent me away to the war. And the band played Waltzing Matilda as we sailed away from the quay. And amidst all the tears and the shouts and the cheers,
Wash your hand, bro.
we sailed off for Gallipoli. Oh, well,
I tell them to move on in 10 minutes.
remember that terrible
When Billy come here, mate, I want them to fucking minutes, mate. I turn the sprinklers on and everything's fucking on.
and that hell that they call so lovely, we were butchered like lambs.
Hey, Matt.
Johnny Turkey was ready, he primed himself well. He shot us with bullets, and he rained us with shells. And in 5 minutes flat, he'd blown us all to hell. Nearly we stopped to bury our slain, and we buried ours, and the Turks buried theirs, and it started all over again. Now those who were living did their best to survive in that world of dust, blood and fire.
Excuse me again, guys, just to let you know what the plan is for the day. The police have been very accommodating. I thank them for that. I think they understand that we are just people concerned About our future. We're welcome to stay here for another 15-20 minutes. I'll play some music. If we want to have any more, I might say a bit more if people want to hear some more. Otherwise, enjoy the music, and then when you disperse, just be careful around if you aren't taking this around. But so just leave with in pairs and stuff, please. So we'll play some music for a little while, and then we'll just play it for the next 15-20 minutes. We'll stay around here. Thank you very much.
And for 7 long weeks, I kept myself alive. All the corpses around me, then a big turtle shell knocked me ass over tip. With one eye in my hospital bed, and saw what it had done. Christ, I wish that I was dead. I never knew there were worse things than dying. And no more, I'll go on, sing Matilda, to the green bushes silver and there, for the
Sorry again, guys. Slight change of plans. We've just a few people, so we want to have
Are your kids able to have some fruit?
They would love it.
Dramas, man.
We're going to walk down towards Gosh's paddock.
Guys,
Proudly showing our flags, then we'll walk back and disperse.
I don't know what flavours they are,
So in about 10 minutes,
You're welcome.
We'll have a walk and proudly show the flags. Thank you.
Yeah, might open them for him.
Hands and pegs, a managed 2 legs. No more waltzing Matilda for me.
Mate, I brought it.
Oh, wow.
Go on.
Oh, yeah, well, thank you, brother. Cheers.
Oh, you're a legend. Thanks, AA.
There's just one left for me, I'll be all right. You all right? Yeah, holiday stuff. I blew it up.
So they
I put too much on it. It has to be reset.
the wounded and maimed.
Oh, really?
Doesn't like white lights.
Back home to Australia. The legless, the armless,
Cheers, bro. I'm like,
You all right, mate? You good?
thanks.
You all right, mate?
and the
Hey, yeah, mate. Hey, Mark, you want one of them?
Thank you.
You want one? Come on. Everybody else is taking them. There's cola. I'll be cola.
Thank you. Can I get one?
Yeah, sure can. That's one coming around on you, though. You take it. You want to take one?
Bicycle?
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And the band they sing the town as they carry
You on, bud?
like just and now every April I sit on my porch and I watch the parade pass before me. Let's see my old comrades, the proudly they march,
You on, bud?
living the dreams of past glory.
I know you're working, but fuck. You on? I know you're working. I know you're working, but yeah, one of them. Nah, you take the water. That's mine, but fuck.
No, take it back.
Try one of these if you want. They're fruit ones.
Even better.
Natural.
Thanks, brother.
No, I mean.
the same questions. And the band plays one thing that's held us.
No one here?
Hey?
No one?
And the old man
Everybody.
I'm going back into tennis. You move on.
Go, where, sorry?
I'm going back into tennis. So
Alright.
you'll be here later on.
Oh, we're getting out of here soon.
Yeah.
We're not here that long.
and then no one will much there.
Get him throwing eggs at us?
I've got to shut it off.
One sing my tale. One sing my tale.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Go on.
Oh, really?
That's what you should do.
Oh, so who you shoot for yourself? What's your channel?
Auditing Australia.
Oh,
Auditing Australia.
yeah.
You guys have actually used goodies before.
Really?
Yeah, you stole it.
We're not me personally.
No, but the company.
Yeah, I know what
for
you're
you, mate. Just credit me at least.
Hey, steal our stuff.
I do now.
Good.
All right, we might go for a bit of a walk if that's okay, please. If you want to congregate over here, we'll stay together, stay nice and tight, please.
Well, surely they would have worked for us. Oh, no, because we put it on there.
Oh yeah, and you doctored it. Yeah, you put it on me.
Oh, did we?
And then you know the funny thing about it was,
Yeah.
there was coppers there with me that day.
Yeah.
Right, and I seen them the week after. And I said, "Just see the bullshit rhetoric that we've got China." He said, "Yep." Complete different.
Really?
Yep.
How long ago was that?
COVID.
It wasn't with mine during COVID, so...
We
All right, thanks, guys. Let's go
done
for
a
a walk.
protest,
Yeah.
and we walked all the way there. I didn't even they walked all the way down to the Royal Children's Hospital. And we made sure we didn't block the entrance.
Yeah, good.
The police put a line across the entrance.
Straight over.
And we know, we got away from it. And then the
Sixth
media turned around and we
battalion
blocked
was the
it.
next to turn. It was me who drew the card.
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Did Conundra.
Cold water before we left.
Townsville lined the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the paper shows us young and strong and clean. There's me in this flat cap, SLR and greens. God help me.
Just dropped under 100.
Only 19. Until
Running channels to the dust of doing that. I am in and out of choppers now for months. We made our homes at home, BB and pin-ups and the lockers and an Asian orange sunshine through the scrub. And can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep? And why I'm just a jungle dark and a barking N16? And what's this rash that comes and goes? Can you tell me what it means?
God help me. I was only 19. A 4-week operation with each step could mean your last one on 2 legs. It was a war within yourself. But you wouldn't let your mates down until they had you dusted off. So you closed your eyes and thought about something else. And then someone yelled out, "Contact!" And the bloke behind me swore. We hooked in there for hours, then it got almighty raw. And Frankie kicked a mine the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me. He was going home in June.
I just felt like it's many, isn't it? That's it. Yeah, down Sorry. few good shots.
I'm streaming it, so it's live.
Oh, good. No problem returns today. They take cash away.
They don't take cash. That's sad, isn't it? But, hey, this is when communications want to go down, so shuts everything down.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean? I'm waiting for this big solar flare.
I am too. Yeah, I love
It's going to wipe everything.
I love it. I never use a bait. I went to go and see a show the other day and they said, no, no cash. I went, okay, I'll see you later. You never know what they're going to take off your bank card, really.
Well, you pay $20, it remains $20, isn't it? Cash.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You always know where you are.
You pay with a tap, you know what I mean? You just made it, right, $20, $19.80.
Yeah, that's right. You always know how much you spend.
Yep.
Cash,
Yep.
I've been walking all day around every time.
We are being stalked, guys. So Vic Pole are following us. They're walking down there. There's 3 of them walking down there. And we're being followed by Port.
Did you leave a wife for us, sweetheart? In some royal heart, old memory shrine. And though we died back in 1960, to that royal heart will forever 19. Are you a stranger without even name? Forever enshrined behind some last name. The sun shining down on these green fields. No gas, no barbed wire, no guns firing now. Still no man's land. The town is right close to the city. To no man's blind indifference to his fellow. And old generations were butchered and they beat the drum slowly. Did they play the fight slowly? Did they sound the death march as they lowered down? Did the band play the last post and did the pipes play the flowers of the
Auditing Australia. There it is there, bro.
Oh, there we go. Follow you up.
Thanks, man. And again and again.
We're going to do a quick photo for those who are interested. Please, if you wouldn't mind just conquering over here, we're trying to work out the best logistics for it.
Brad, get in here!
Well, we'll come this way, please. Apparently, we've got to get the sun in the faces. So we'll line up across there, if that's all right.
Let's go, Rick. Get him. Get in there. And the dog. Come on. Go, I want it.
Back there, come in more. Come closer. Fold it up. Now, what if we break this down a little? So maybe some of these little rows move out a bit. Move out a bit. Make it out to the side there. Good job. Right. Yeah, how are we feeling about that? Good?
Yeah, maybe spin a little bit.
You want the flags down or up?
Up.
Up, flags up, flags up. Get them up, guys. That's the way. Looks great.
Eyes go.
Cool.
All right, I really want you to open your hearts up now, okay? And feel these words. Aussie! 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 Good job, guys.
How you going, Anne-Marie? Thanks for dropping by. Would you want one? No. They're fruit.
All right, guys.
Sure, you want one? I bought like 20 of them yesterday.
Now, you want to leave together the same way you came. Try not to walk off on your own. If you're going back to the train station, find some people to go with. A few of us are going to be going back in the direction we came from to go to parked cars and so forth. Just communicate with each other. Stick together as long as you can. Well done. Happy Australia Day.
Hey!
And I just want to say thank you so much, everyone, again. I really appreciate it. It takes a little bit of courage to come out. There's been a lot of negative press. We didn't know what we were in for. It's been a good day so far. We just need to be safe when we get home. And I want to thank you so much for coming out here today. And hopefully this is just the start. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.
have your breakfast? Never drove,
I drove to the station.
how far to the right? I like Geelong, but it's pretty quiet. I'm kind of used to it. Yeah, but the population isn't that small though, you know, like compared to Scotland. Yeah. What's the population? Glasgow's like 350,000. What's that big city?
Yeah, Geelong's the loosest city in Australia.
Is it?
I'm from Geelong.
I've got friends in there, but it is the loosest city in Australia. Trust me. Type in loosest city in Australia.
Loosest.
Loosest, yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh, right, they're all drugs. It's bad.
Yeah, but that's why it's got a bad rap.
It's got a bad rap. It's just meth scene. Like 1 in 6 drivers apparently on meth. It's bad here, right? Places like Law Lane, Corio. You know what I mean? Those areas are predominantly public housing as well. You know what I mean? So it's the demographic. I mean, that's what we put in the area.
I think that's happening with this place. There's not a lot to do. There's not a lot going
Well,
on.
there's not much around Corio and Law Lane. There is nothing. So that's like about 10 k's out from Geelong, but it's all suburbia. You know what I mean? It's like if we go out west of Melbourne, you got Melton. You know what I mean? That's bad. You know what I mean?
I've only been to Melbourne, Geelong. Maybe I'm at one fall to the East Coast.
You been to Sydney?
Yeah. How's Sydney?
Hey?
How is it?
It's more beautiful than Melbourne as far as I'm concerned. I've lived here all my life, but I don't know. There's some bad parts of that as well.
Like Melbourne.
Where are you from? You're from Glasgow, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's bad parts in there too, you know what I mean? Like, and there's good parts, so it's everywhere in the world, right?
Yeah, we've got a lot of drug issues as well.
Sorry, drug issues, yeah. We've got a bad meth epidemic here in Australia at the moment. It's really bad. And the funny thing is, right, the main precursor is pseudoephedrine, and where do they get tons of that from? Pharmaceutical companies. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah, meth, you can prescribe stuff like meth.
Well, people with ADHD, or whatever it is, methamphetamine. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ritalin, that's real good for you, eh?
I had like a...
Sorry? Oh, have a good day, guys.
Won't make a move, please, guys.
We're moving. We're going.
So like the rain bushes, so far and near. For the hands and face, from my knees to the legs. For one thing that's held out for me.
Hold up, boys. Hang on a second, please.
It's showing. I looked at the page, it's showing good.
Still?
Yeah.
All right.
Amber had trouble trying to click on it before. I just said to relink it to her. So YouTube's fucking you around, bro.
There's 100 people here. We're going that way.
Yeah, going back over the other people.
There is a group coming down from Invasion Day, so we might have a nice walk along the river, guys. We're going to change direction, go back towards the Yarra and go along the river. Cheers.
Back on Australia. The legless, the armless, the blind and insane.
I think they're turning around. Yeah, they are. That's what they're going. Yeah. Why are they taking risks if they go down there?
What do you want to do?
Left the room. Apparently they're coming up this way.
Invasion there? Okay.
I thought a couple of boys just took the path and they got up to us.
Yeah. Well, where are we going?
Well, they're turning around going,
Okay, yeah. No confrontation.
they went all.
Yeah, fair enough. No, they're probably just trying to beat
Getting in top space, just filming and taking photos. Like, I mean, if there's altercation or something, you want to make sure no one's stepping out of bounds. So there are people who say they're media. They say they're media, but then they just go around taking photos of people. And it's like, hang on, are you media or are you working for a foreign agency, like a spy agency, who's going after any people in Australia who might maybe be fly in the ointment to their plans of global hegemony? How's your day been anyway? Getting paid overtime today?
No, mate, I'm rusted on today.
Oh, what a pain in the ass. I was just actually admiring the light, the sunlight through the screen. You don't work too hard?
They never fucking do. He said, don't work hard. I said, they never fucking do. I work hard at busting people's asses.
Right, the first name this way and the surname this way.
Oh. Sorry?
I can see a different coloured flag up there.
Yeah.
You can see something. Just get on your bike and have a look.
John, just ring them all up and let's go to group as a group.
Yeah, I'll go on a push bike, right? Yeah, have a good. I'll come back.
Sorry,
What was city?
Sorry?
What was city?
Nah. But apparently there's an invasion day coming down the road. And that's why we were about to go that way and we've done the right thing, we're turning it around.
I just don't reckon they want us to walk in front of the open doorway. That's what I reckon.
The main bulk of the street open. This tail's thing. I'm looking for your face. A couple of days ago,
I'm going to catch up with these guys. Having a piss. No dramas, Nanya.
Thank you, mate.
See you guys. Try not to portray it something that it isn't, yeah? Appreciate that, Paul. Thanks, mate.
Excuse me.
Yeah, right.
Take a photo for us?
Yeah, no, no.
He's live streaming. How many views you got? Oh, sorry.
How many viewers at the moment? There's 120 something in there.
Happy Australia Day. Hope you guys are celebrating. Happy Australia Day. Happy Australia Day.
Subscribe.
Cheers, bro.
I'll take the photo.
Having a lay down, eh? Cool off. Hello, girl. Looks like a boy, actually.
I'll just go straight to Melbourne.
Now this is Josh's park.
Josh's Park.
I first signed up with YouTube, I think it was 2015, but I didn't really start kicking it off until about 2017, I think. I started filming police and then COVID happened and then the channel went boom. You know what I mean? When I say boom, it went good, you know what I mean? So,
it wasn't a full-time job, it was just and then it came waiting out the weekend. That was it.
I think I've ever walked like this one.
Yeah, they had tackle.
So this is on repeat, man. Bit of deja vu happening. Fucking legendary song. Watch out for push bikes.
Yeah. You're a rapper. But I'm always like, any other get paid for fuck's sake, because I know nothing's gonna happen. Because like crime is basically legal right now, but like still.
And then someone yelled out, contact!
Alright guys, 105 venues. I'm going to let you all go. I'm going to wrap it up. Walk back to my car. Thanks everybody for coming past today. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Happy Australia Day everybody. And we'll see you soon. Take care guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. So make Australia great again.
Yeah.